What is worse than childhood nightmares? Perhaps a little girl clutching a teddy bear as she leaves a trail of ashes behind. Annie is no ordinary child. Her flames devour everything, and those who try to stop her are long gone. Make yourself comfortable in my humble tavern, and let us explore a tale of the most dangerous girl in Noxus. Annie was born in the remote Iron Spike Mountains, where her parents Gregory Hastur and Emmeline Kiosar sought refuge far from Noxus's capital. Both were mages, worried about Borm Darkwill's might. Yet Gregory had no idea his beloved hid a secret. She once belonged to the Ravenbloom Conservatory, a school run by the Black Rose, and had a connection to a demon named T-Bog. While waiting for their child's birth, Annie saw the teddy bear, inspired by legends of shadowy beasts roaming the area. When the toy was nearly complete, she went into labor. Soon Annie was born. From her earliest days, the girl received this very bear as a gift, but soon her life was at risk. A severe fever struck both Annie and her father. Desperate to save her daughter, Emmeline's attempts with cold mountain water and magic proved futile. In despair, she called on T-Bog's power, imbuing Annie's teddy bear with his essence. A miracle ensued. The girl recovered, but at a terrible cost. Emmeline herself vanished. By morning, Gregory awoke to find Annie healthy, joyful in her crib, hugging her new companion, which she named Tibbers. But her mother was nowhere to be found. As Annie grew, her magical abilities surfaced. She quietly manipulated the fireplace flames, playing with them unseen by her father. She clung to the hope her mother would come back someday, often rocking by the fire with Tibbers in her arms, as if waiting. Meanwhile, life in the Iron Spike Mountains changed. More settlers arrived, and in time Gregory fell in love with a woman named Liana, who had a daughter called Daisy. They wed, merging their families. Liana tried to be a caring stepmother to Annie, but was unsettled by the girl's eerie drawings, always featuring Tibbers and the missing Emmeline. Daisy, though initially friendly with Annie, was frightened by her fiery temper and powers. One day, while the girls played in the forest, a glowing sprite darted ahead. Obsessed with catching it, Daisy crossed a rushing stream on slippery stones. Annie tried to stop her, but it was too late. Daisy lost her footing and tumbled into the swirling current. Panicking, Annie extended her hand holding Tibbers. Daisy grabbed on, but the more Annie struggled to hold her sister, the more flames poured from her fingers. Terrified, Daisy reflexively let go of the bear and drowned. News of the tragedy soon reached home. Liana, in grief, blamed Annie, calling her a monster. The girl fled to her room, overcome by the guilt that morphed into a tempest of emotion. Her magic spiraled beyond control. Fire erupted, consuming the house. Her father, sensing the danger, rushed to Annie's room and got her out. But as he threw her to safety, the burning roof collapsed, burying him beneath it. While embers still glowed in the ruins, Liana, mad with sorrow, snatched Tibbers from Annie. Furious with grief, she tried to tear the toy apart, but at that moment, an unknown fury ignited within Annie. Tibbers awoke. The bear was infused with demonic energy and came to life for the first time. The last thing Liana witnessed was a menacing shadow lunging at her amid scorching flames. When it was over, Annie stood alone in the ashes. Her family was gone, her home ruined. Only Tibbers remained as a true companion. Holding him tight, she set off into a world where no one was waiting. Annie roamed the northern parts of Noxus, steering clear of the capital. She believed every city-born Noxian was like her stepmother, cruel and unfeeling. Every now and then, she used her disarming appearance to win sympathy from families. But her presence inevitably led to fire and the demise of those who dared to take Tibbers away. One time, Annie found refuge in a home that welcomed her warmly. There, she acquired a new outfit, her iconic pink and purple dress and a horned headband. Yet their kindness didn't safeguard them. We can only guess what occurred and what took place, but the house burned down, leaving Annie alone once more. During her wanderings, she stopped by a tavern owned by a barkeep named Marcin. She slipped inside and smiling asked for a cup of milk. Surprised but uncomplaining, the barkeep poured it. As he handed it over, Annie placed a hefty bag of gold before him, far more than the milk's worth. A random bounty hunter noticed, and eyes alight with greed questioned how the girl got such wealth. Annie gave no answer, so he persisted until he seized her arm. Instantly, red flames flared through the tavern. Tibbers emerged in fire, ripping the men apart and igniting the building. As flames devoured the walls, Annie politely thanked Marsan and then left, humming cheerily while leaving nothing but ash behind. Word of a little girl with pyromancy spread swiftly. It reached the Ravenbloom Conservatory, a secret order of Noxian mages. Finn Redrick, one of their scouts, was sent to investigate. He had once known Emmeline and upon seeing Annie, immediately realized who she was, and that the T-Bog entity they'd long tried to control was now bound to the child. Finn took Annie to the conservatory, enrolling her as a pupil. There she met other young casters. Danny, a Vestaya from the Ovicat tribe, a clever young man named Siddle, and a gifted student named Faye. Annie quickly displayed remarkable skill in fire magic, yet her fierce disposition stayed problematic. Mentors failed to curb her. She was stubborn, untamed, quick-tempered, and once her rage erupted fully. Tibbers manifested in his true form, plunging the academy into chaos. Flames ravaged the buildings, driving staff and students to flee. The Ravenbloom Conservatory lay in ashes, and Annie wandered on, never settling, leaving only embers in her wake. Annie is a child encircled by fire. Anyone who attempts to rein her in vanishes into ash. Where she is now, no one knows. But should you spot a girl clutching a teddy bear in the darkness, best keep away. Thank you for your company. If you enjoyed this video, please support our work by liking, subscribing, and hitting the bell. See you soon over a mug of the most delicious ale in all of Runeterra.